Bill O'Reilly, he was on the air Thursday and, doing his regular little old spiel, spitting that divisive venom, that divisive racist stuff that he normally spewed. And the show just abruptly ended. Now, this is in the midst of all of these advertisers fleeing his show because they found out that Bill has a penchant for sexually harassing women. Yeah, check out the story. Bill O'Reilly is in trouble after the New York Times revealed the Fox star and the network have had at least 5 sexual harassment lawsuits in the last decade. Advertisers began to flee his show. Mercedes-Benz was the first to jump. Kudos to Mercedes-Benz. First class act. And within hours, the floodgates were open. During last night's show, which was Thursday, only a handful of advertisements were featured, and several of the remaining companies, like Next Day Blings, are trying to get out as soon as possible. We buy media quarterly, explained company spokeswoman Katie Hinkes, and are constantly monitoring to make sure our buy aligns with our advertising strategy and our target customers. As soon as we learned about the accusations against Bill O'Reilly, we instructed our media buyer to cancel our advertising on the O'Reilly Factor. Unfortunately, our media buyer was unable to impact Wednesday's show. But if we could, we would. We would have pulled our sponsorship immediately from those suckers. We can't stand Fox News. We was only trying to get up on a hustle. But when we found out that they were doing all that stuff to women, and women started coming at Bill O'Reilly and coming at the Fox News station, then they started coming at us, it was too much to handle. We had to pull our advertisements for the sake of women all over the world. Bill O'Reilly is a sucker and a buster. His mama ain't no good. Nah, they ain't say all that, but they wanted to say it. Anyway, Luke LaPala, a spokesman for Scottsvest, said his company cannot continue to advertise on the O'Reilly Factor and directed his media buyer to pull all advertisements from the program immediately. Unfortunately, he said, our buyer was not able to pull the ads for Wednesday night in time. Invisalign got on them also, y'all. Invisalign abandoned the O'Reilly show. Spokesperson said it can take a few days for a schedule to clear, which is why commercials did not vanish right away. Think Progress reports that the show abruptly ended 15 minutes into the program. This is beautiful, y'all. This is a day to celebrate. This is a day of triumph for good. This is what good finally win over, even if it's just temporary. Good is having a good day. Now, meanwhile, Fox and O'Reilly are unusually quiet. I mean, quiet. You know, they love to run their mouths. They love to beat their chests and wield their power. They love that. But they're unusually quiet right now because they feeling the pain. They're getting hit in the pocketbook. See, you want to hurt somebody in America, it's a couple of ways. And one of the biggest ways is that you hit them in the pocket. Oh, man. You got people that jump off of buildings, skyscrapers, and splash their whole brains all over the street, all over the concrete when they get hit in the pockets. Hit them in the pockets, man. Yeah, it's going down for real. Now, you know me, the thinker that I am. When the show abruptly ended, I don't watch it, but I heard about it. When I heard about it, the first thing I thought was, okay, that doesn't sound right that the show would just end like that. Now, usually the network would say, okay, these are the last few commercials we're going to run, and we're going to run this show for one more week or one more day or one more month. You know, they don't just unceremoniously stop a show, a high-rated show like The O'Reilly Factor. So I got to thinking, and I was like, what other reasons could they have canceled that show? And I said, you know what probably happened? One plausible explanation could be that Bill O'Reilly was on the phone during the break. He was on the phone with one of his KKK members, one of the KKK members. They was on the phone talking about what the next meeting was going to be. And he got caught up trying to find something to write with because, you know, everybody put information in their phones now. So he didn't have a pen. So he was running around trying to get a pen. He normally wouldn't have to run around himself because he have females, young, attractive females who he planned on someday sexually assaulting, usually assisting him with things of that nature. But nobody was around because of the climate, you know, with the lawsuits and stuff. So he had to do it himself. So he was running around. He went out to the car. He couldn't find a pen. He couldn't go back to the desk. He didn't think about that because, you know, he is kind of getting senile. He didn't think about grabbing his phone, but he was trying to find a pen. And somehow the time just got away from him and the show ended. Now that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that could be one of the reasons why he didn't come back and start that segment on time. He was probably talking to one of his card-carrying members of the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan, and yeah, he just couldn't make it back in time. Another thing that could have happened was he could have been on the toilet boo-booing and he lost control of his bowels and he just couldn't stop. Or he was trying to go take a dump and he boo-booed on himself. He lost control like that. And he boo-booed all on himself and he didn't have no extra clothes. He had to go try to take a shower and stuff. And normally he don't bathe for like weeks at a time because he's dirty and nasty, low down. So, but this time he had to bathe because he took a dump on himself. So I'm thinking that could possibly be one of the reasons why that show ended abruptly. Now, the third thing could be this, and this is probably the most credible explanation. He could have been back in his trailer, jacking off. I'm thinking, because he a freak, you know, he a super freak. Can't help himself about talking dirty on the air. You know how many times this man been caught talking dirty on the air where he just bring up dirty stuff and he try to act like he doing it in the name of protecting the youth. And he'll tell family members, he'll tell the parents that he's doing this so that he can protect the youngsters from the smut. But his show come on at 8 o'clock. And usually around that time, the youngsters are still up. So again, this dude he just can't be trusted. But here's the thing, man. Have you ever noticed how the loudest right-wingers, the ones with the biggest mouths, you ever notice how they always tend to get caught up in scandal? I mean, invariably, they get caught up in scandals. You ever notice that? I've noticed it, and I think one of the reasons why they constantly get a pass and they get over with it, see, is because, well, I'm going to say this first. I think Bill O'Reilly will come back in some capacity. He'll probably come back on Fox. I don't know what the deal is over there. But even if he gets fired off Fox, he will have an audience. No matter where he goes, he'll have an audience. Because in America, we tend to appeal and be attracted by the lowest common denominator. That's how we ended up with somebody like Trump, skunk, chump, dump in the White House. No more talk.